She built an app to find missing children. One night, it found her son, the fire that never went out. There's a love that is not gentle. It does not whisper lullabies or tuck blankets under chins. It does not wait patiently for morning light or reason calmly with fear. It is not the kind of love that fits neatly into greeting cards or Hallmark movies. It is a furious, blazing thing, forged in the crucible of loss, tempered in the silence of unanswered prayers, sharpened by decades of grief turned into grit. It burns quietly in the background of a life, invisible to the world, but felt in every heartbeat, every keystroke, every breath held too long. 20 years ago, that fire was lit inside Anya Sharma. She was 12. Her brother, Rohan, was 7, a whirlwind of laughter and scraped knees, always chasing butterflies or hiding under tables, always asking why, like the world owed him answers. On a Tuesday afternoon in late September, he walked out the front door to ride his red bicycle to the corner store for candy. He never came back. The search lasted 3 weeks. Flyers papered every lamppost. Volunteers combed the woods. Psychics called in with visions. The police brought in cadaver dogs. News vans camped outside their home. And then, silence. The case grew cold. The media moved on. The flyers faded in the sun. But for Anya, the world had simply become a place where brothers vanished. And so, she built a new one. She built a world of code and light. A digital net to catch the falling. She called it Guardian. She never knew that one day it would have to catch her. Chapter 1. The Girl Who Remembered. Anya didn't cry at Rohan's memorial. Not because she wasn't heartbroken. She was shattered, really. But because at 12 years old, she had already made a decision. Grief was a luxury she could not afford. Not if she wanted to find him. She sat in the front row, dressed in a black dress she hated, holding her mother's trembling hand. Her father stared blankly at the casket. Empty, symbolic, as the priest spoke of God's mysterious plan. Anya clenched her jaw. There was no plan, only failure, only silence. That night, while her parents wept in their bedroom, she crept downstairs and opened Rohan's toy chest. Inside, beneath his favorite action figures and half-finished coloring books, she found his journal, a spiral notebook filled with doodles of spaceships, lists of top 10 dinosaurs, and scribbled notes like, "Mom says no more candy before dinner, loudly crying face," and asterisk, "Anya's bossy, but she lets me win at Mario sometimes." Asterisk, she pressed it to her chest and made a vow. Asterisk, "I will find you, even if no one else believes you're out there. Even if it takes my whole life, I will find you." Asterisk, she didn't know how, but she knew she would learn. Chapter 2. The Making of Machine. Anya became obsessed with systems, not just computers, though she devoured every programming book she could find, but with patterns, with cause and effect, with the invisible threads that connected people, places, events. In high school, she hacked into the school's security camera system to prove a janitor had been stealing lunches from the cafeteria fridge. He was fired. The lunches stopped disappearing. In college, she built a facial recognition prototype that could identify students in crowded lecture halls. Not for surveillance, but to help professors track attendance without roll calls. It worked. The CS department gave her a scholarship. But her real project, the one she coded in secret late at night, fueled by coffee and grief, was the earliest version of Guardian. It started as a simple script. It scraped public webcams, cross-referenced them against missing persons databases from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It flagged matches based on clothing, height, gait, facial structure. It was crude, slow, prone to false positives. But it worked. Her first success came during her sophomore year. A 4-year-old boy, missing for 72 hours from a Portland mall, was spotted by her algorithm on a gas station security feed 200 miles away. She called the police anonymously. The boy was recovered within the hour. She didn't tell anyone. She didn't want praise. She wanted Rohan. Chapter 3. The Mother Who Coded in the Dark. Years passed. Anya graduated top of her class, landed a job at Viridian Labs, rose through the ranks, became known in Silicon Valley as a compiler, a nickname earned for her ability to take broken, bloated code and return it streamlined, elegant, bulletproof. At 32, she adopted Liam. Not because she was ready. She wasn't. Not because she'd healed. She hadn't. But because she saw him in a foster home photo. Wide brown eyes, shy smile, clutching a stuffed T-Rex. And something inside her cracked open. Asterisk. He needs someone who won't give up on him. Asterisk. Asterisk. Just like I never gave up on you, Rohan. Asterisk. She brought him home on a rainy Tuesday, the same kind of day Rohan had vanished. Coincidence? Maybe. Fate? She didn't believe in fate. She believed in vigilance. She believed in code. She believed in love that fought. Their home became a sanctuary. Warm yellows on walls, dinosaur nightlights, a Lego table in the living room, bedtime stories read in silly voices. Liam called her Mama Code because she sometimes muttered programming syntax while tucking him in. She didn't mind. She loved him fiercely, protectively, desperately. And in her office, behind a locked door, soundproof, temperature-controlled, Guardian grew. Version 2.0, 3.0, 5.0. It learned to read body language, to detect micro-expressions of fear, to track vehicles by make, model, even tire tread patterns. It integrated with traffic cams, subway feeds, ATM cameras, school bus GPS, Ring doorbells with user consent, even public Instagram geotags. It had a 99.1% accuracy rate. It had reunited 387 children with their families. And still no Rohan. Chapter 4, The Wall of Skepticism. Captain Daniel Evans had aged. His hair was grayer, his shoulders more slumped. But his skepticism? That had only hardened. He remembered Anya as a girl, pale, trembling, clutching a stuffed dinosaur, begging him to please find Rohan. He remembered promising her he would. He remembered failing. So when adult Anya walked into his office 5 years ago with a prototype of Guardian, he didn't see innovation. He saw guilt. He saw obsession. He saw a woman trying to rewrite a past he couldn't change. Anya, he'd sigh, rubbing his temples. We have protocols, chain of evidence, legal thresholds. We can't just run every blurry CCTV image through your machine. It's not a machine, she'd reply, voice steady. It's a witness, and it never blinks. He'd shake his head. You're asking us to trust an algorithm over a detective's gut. I'm asking you to trust data over denial. Their battles were quiet, tense, fought in conference rooms and over encrypted emails. Evans would delay warrants, question Guardian's confidence scores, insist on human verification, which often took days. Days no missing child had. Anya didn't care about credit. She cared about seconds. And every second Evans wasted was a second a child spent in the dark. Still, she sent him every high-priority alert, every match, every lead, and slowly, grudgingly, he began to act on them because Guardian was right. Again, and again, and again. Chapter 5, the night the algorithm screamed. It was a Tuesday. Rain lashed against the windows like frantic fingers. The kind of storm that made the world feel smaller, closer, more fragile. Liam had gone to bed at 8 p.m., clutching his T-Rex plushie, whispering, "Don't let the thunder get me, Mama." She kissed his forehead. "I won't. Guardian's watching." It was their joke. She told him Guardian was like a robot angel that looked for lost kids. He believed her. She checked on him at 9. He was asleep, one arm flung over the dinosaur, breathing soft and even. She went to her office. Routine. She reviewed Guardian's daily digest. 14 low-priority matches, false positives, mostly. 3 medium priority, escalated to local PDs. 0 high. Then a chime. Soft, almost musical. Priority alpha. Her breath caught. Priority alpha meant 99.8% confidence match. Reserved for cases where facial recognition, gait analysis, clothing metadata, and location probability all align within a 0.2% margin of error. She turned to monitor 3. The image loaded. Grainy, black and white. Traffic cam, intersection of Oak and 5th. Timestamp, 8:42 p.m. There, in the passenger seat of a dirty blue van. Pale face, wide, frightened eyes, blue dinosaur t-shirt, her son's t-shirt, the one she'd washed that morning, the one he'd begged to wear because Rex protects me. The world stopped. Her lungs forgot how to work. Her fingers, usually so steady, so precise, trembled violently over the keyboard. This wasn't a case. This wasn't data. This was Liam, and he was not in his bed. He was 2 miles away, in a van, with someone. Now, Chapter 6, the mother who became the algorithm. She didn't call 911. She didn't call Evans. She didn't scream. She became guardian. Her mind, honed by 20 years of grief, 5 years of coding, and 7 years of motherhood, snapped into hyper-focus. She commanded the AI, tracked vehicle, real-time, all feeds. Guardian responded instantly. Toll booth cam, van passed northbound at 8:47 p.m. Gas station security. Van stopped at 8:53 p.m. Driver obscured. License plate muddy. Traffic light cam. Van turned onto Highway 101 at 8:59 p.m. Heading north. Speed, 62 miles per hour. Estimated destination radius, 47 miles and 45 minutes. License plate still unreadable. Dead end, unless she zoomed in on the gas station footage. Frame by frame, pixel by pixel. There, on the rear bumper, a decal, faded, peeling. She ran an edge enhancement filter, then a contrast boost, then a logo recognition subroutine. Match found. Green Earth Landscaping, serving the Bay since 2008. Her fingers flew. Cross-reference. Green Earth employees. Bay Area. Male. Age 30 to 55. Criminal record. One hit. Mark Dobbs. Age 42. Arrested in 2021 for attempted child abduction in Fremont. Charges dropped due to procedural error. The arresting officer failed to read him his rights within the mandated 7-minute window. Released. Rehired. Still driving a company van. Still landscaping. Still hunting. The system had failed. It had left a predator loose. And now he had her son. Chapter 7. The text that broke the system. She didn't hesitate. She compiled every piece of data, van trajectory, Dobbs's photo, his record, the gas station timestamp, the bumper decal match, into a single encrypted packet. She sent it to Captain Evans. Subject line, my son, body, Mark Dobbs, blue van, Highway 101 North, real-time GPS attached. Send every unit, asterisk, asterisk. Then she did the thing every protocol, every law, every ounce of logic forbade. She grabbed her keys, ran to her car, and followed the blinking red on her phone. Guardian's live feed, updated every 3 seconds. She drove like a woman possessed. Rain blurred the windshield. Sirens wailed behind her. Evans had moved faster than she expected, but she was closer. She saw the van, pulled over at a remote gas station off exit 47. Engine still running. Driver's door open. She didn't think. She didn't plan. She threw open her car door. Screamed. Not a word, not a name. Just a raw, primal sound that tore from her throat like shrapnel. Asterisk, asterisk, Liam. Asterisk, asterisk. A pause. Then a cry from the back of the van. Asterisk, asterisk, mama. Asterisk, asterisk. She lunged. Dobbs, a gaunt man with hollow eyes, turned, shock twisting his face. You? How did you? She didn't answer. She shoved past him, tore open the van's sliding door. Liam was there, bound at the wrists, gagged, eyes wide with terror. She ripped the gag off, untied him with shaking hands, crushed him to her chest. Behind her, tires screeched. Police cars surrounded them. Dobbs didn't run. He just stared at Anya, whispering, "That app, it's not possible." Evans approached, face ashen. "Anya, how did you?" She held Liam tighter. Guardian found him. Evans looked at the van, at the data streaming on Anya's phone, at the boy sobbing into his mother's neck. For the first time in 20 years, He had no words, only awe and shame. Chapter 8. The Woman at the Door. Liam was physically unharmed. Psychologically, they'd need time, therapy, nightlights, a new lock on his bedroom door. But he was alive that night. As he slept, curled against her in her bed, one hand clutching her shirt, Anya stared at the ceiling, replaying every second. The chime, the face on the screen, the drive, the scream, the cry. She should have felt relief. She felt hollow because she knew this wasn't over. At 6 a.m., the doorbell rang. She opened it, expecting reporters, police, maybe even Liam's school principal. Instead, a woman in a charcoal gray pantsuit, hair pulled back in severe bun, eyes like polished steel. She held up a badge. Special Agent Mara Lynn, Department of Homeland Security, Cyber Counterduction Task Force. Anya didn't invite her in. Lynn didn't wait. She stepped inside, voice low, calm, terrifying. Ms. Sharma, last night, when we apprehended Mark Dobbs, we confiscated his phone. Anya's stomach dropped. We ran it through your Guardian system. With your permission, of course. It took 12 minutes to decrypt. What we found wasn't just one predator. Lynn paused. It was a network. Dobbs wasn't acting alone. He was a scout. He identified targets. Children who walked alone, whose parents worked late, whose neighborhoods had blind spots in camera coverage. He reported them to a handler. Payments were made in cryptocurrency. Drop points were coordinated via encrypted gaming chats. Anya's knees buckled. She sat on the stairs. How many? She whispered. We've identified 17 active targets. 3 confirmed abductions in the last 6 months. All stopped because of your algorithm. Lynn leaned forward. Ms. Sharma, you didn't just save your son last night. You dismantled a pipeline. Chapter 9. The Offer and the Price. Lynn's offer was simple. Unlimited federal funding. Top secret clearance. Integration with every law enforcement database in the country. A dedicated team of AI specialists, field agents, and legal advisors. Guardian would go national, then global. It would become Project Sentinel, a real-time shield for every child in America. All Anya had to do was say yes. She looked at Liam, still asleep, one arm flung over his dinosaur. She thought of Rowan, forever 7, forever lost. She thought of the 387 families who had hugged their children because of her code. And she thought of the 17 children still out there, waiting for someone to see them. She said yes, but not without conditions. No data mining, no surveillance without consent, no selling user data, ever. Lynn agreed. Your terms, your rules, your vision. Chapter 10. The Ghost in the Machine, Rohan. 6 months later, Project Sentinel was operational in 14 states. It had stopped 4 trafficking attempts, recovered 9 missing children, generated 87 high-priority leads. Anya barely slept. She moved her office into a secure DHS facility. Liam started seeing a child psychologist. He drew pictures of Mama and the robot angel saving kids. Anya framed one and hung it above her workstation. Then, one quiet Thursday afternoon, Guardian flagged something. Not a priority alpha, not even a priority 1. It was labeled Historical Match, Low Confidence, 37.8%. Recommend review. The system rarely flagged old footage unless it detected a pattern recurrence. Curious, Anya opened it. The video was grainy, time-stamped. October 14, 2012. Albuquerque Greyhound Station. Camera angle, overhead near Gate 3. A boy, small, wearing a red bicycle helmet, holding a juice box, walks beside a man in a baseball cap. The boy looks up, smiles, gap-toothed, freckled nose. Anya's breath stopped. She enhanced the image, zoomed in, ran facial reconstruction, cross-referenced with dental records from Rowan's pediatrician. Match probability, 98.4%. It was him, Rowan, alive, in 2012, boarding a bus with a man in a baseball cap. Destination, unknown. Anya collapsed. She spent 3 days in bed. Liam curled beside her, stroking her hair. "I'm sorry, Mama," he whispered. "I'm sorry we found him too late." She held him tighter. "No, baby," she said, voice breaking. "We found him because of you." Chapter 11. The Lantern in the Dark. Today, Project Sentinel operates in 23 countries. It has reunited 2,147 children with their families. It has dismantled 83 trafficking rings. It has saved children from cargo ships, from basements, from cult compounds, from the backs of vans. Anya Sharma is no longer just a software engineer. She is a symbol, a warrior, a mother who turned her grief into a global shield. But in her quiet moments, when Liam is at school, when the servers are humming, when the world is briefly still, she sits at her desk. She pulls up the Albuquerque footage. She watches Rowan, alive, breathing real, climb onto that bus, and she whispers, "I'm still looking, little brother. I'm still listening. I'm still here." Epilogue, the most powerful search tool. Anya Sharma built an app to find missing children. She never imagined it would one day find her own. She proved that a mother's love, coded into an algorithm, fueled by grief, sharpened by rage, is the most powerful search tool in the world. Technology didn't save Liam. She did. But technology gave her the seconds she needed, the clarity, the path, the proof. And in the end, that's all any parent ever needs. A chance to fight. A chance to scream their child's name into the dark and hear it echo back. If you believe that technology can be a force for good in the darkest of times, like this video, subscribe to Digital Detective and share this story. Comment below, what tool would you build to protect your family? Comment, bring them home. If you stand with Anya, your support helps us bring more powerful stories to light.